So I just went in the house and I was watching a couple of videos that I have on my computer from the Bobcat when I was working on it a couple months ago. Originally I wanted to have this thing done by July, and here it is November. But we did accomplish one thing, and that's the Farmall Cub sitting back there under the cover. We got that done in between. But let me tell you something, when you walk away from a project and you come back and you start looking at it and you think, oh man, how was that linkage on there? And where does that bracket go? That's about where I'm at right now. I'll figure it out. I have some old pictures, old videos that I can look at to reference which way it goes. But right now, I'm just looking at it like, what the world? So I know that I'm going to put a little insert of the shroud before I did what I did here. But I wanted to just show you this. Now inside there, that's just some dirt from, knocking it loose, putting this thing together. Went and got some Allen head screws and putting it together with that, and the bracket here that holds the distributor. But man, what a difference. I was in there watching the video, and this thing was filled with some kind of nuts and dirt and the mouse nest. It was actually on the other side, the mouse nest was, but this is the only side that I have open. This side here I have completely buttoned up. It is, I think, waiting a couple more screws. One here, one down in at the bottom there. I don't know if you can see that or not. But this side here is buttoned up. And of course, with anything, I got started on this tonight. This is a bolt for my starter, and I heated it up. I tried to get the nut off. I got the nut off, all right. Broke it. No big deal. Here's that linkage that I was telling you about for the throttle. Man, I don't remember how that goes on there, but like I say, I've been looking at different pictures and I think I can figure it out. There's my coil and a couple more springs and stuff laying around. But yeah, here's a Wisconsin, and it has come a long way. Not only has the Wisconsin come a long way, but the Bobcat itself has come pretty far. And I'll throw a little picture of that in here so you can reference what it did look like compared to what it looks like now. This is actually my tilt unit here. I have my hydraulics off. I still need to rebuild my cylinders. But yeah, this thing has come a long way. Thanks to my friends at Etched in Time. You can't get a VIN number or a serial number plate anymore for this model. So they made me up a really nice plate, and then I went ahead and punched the serial number into that plate. My paint's turning a little yellow. I wanted to touch some paint up tonight, and big difference. I'll show it to you down in here. You can see where the fresh paint is and the old paint was. It's turning like a yellowish. So still got a lot of parts here on the bench, some in the middle, some underneath, some on top. There's my seat. So yeah, the Bobcat M-610, she sat dormant for about 3.5 months while we finished up the International Harvester Farmall Cub, and now we're back on the Bobcat. This is an M-610, somewhere back in the late 60s, early 70s. And here's, man, it's good to have what I have. I have a very nice shop to work in, nice workbench to sprawl things out on. These are all the parts for the Bobcat. Old nuts and bolts. I try not to use old nuts and bolts. I've been pretty fortunate. My daughter bought me gift cards for Tractor Supply over the years, and as you can see, I mean, this has opened up from what I was doing earlier today, just finding washers and nuts and bolts. So I got grade 5 and I got grade 8. I got locking nuts and every size that you can imagine. Every one of these drawers has something in it. Down here's all my grade 8 stuff. And I didn't have enough space to sort them out, so they're all kind of jammed in there together. But yeah, quite a selection of nuts and bolts. You kind of have to have that when you're working on a project like this. And not, like I say, that entire bin there is full of nuts, bolts, washers, lock washers, and stuff. Plus, as you can see, I have fairly good supply of tools. You never seem to have the tool that you need, but yeah, like I say, I was just in and I was looking at the old video where I was digging out and I'll put that in here, digging out that rat nest that was in this shroud. This is not the original shroud. I went ahead and purchased another shroud off of eBay. I don't know if I have a video that shows it, but the one bottom, they must have backed the unit into something or dropped the motor or something, but they tore the shroud up, so it was almost impossible to fix. I just went ahead and got a new one on eBay. So, Bobcat M610, Wisconsin VH4D motor. Struggling right now with the linkage, but we'll get her. Thanks for watching, guys. You know, I know I post some boring videos, I post some long videos, and appreciate you guys stopping by and checking it out. When we get this thing running, I'm sure we'll be throwing some videos on YouTube here. Thanks again for stopping by.